Hello, happy witching hour. I'm sitting here doing my hair, y'all, and I thought I would come and ramble for a minute over on this channel. uh yeah. I was just looking at the newest episode on the Misery Machine. And first of all, I just want to say this. I'm sitting here thinking, where are they doing this at? You know what I'm saying? Every time I listen to one of those stories, um, I always ask myself, where are they doing that at? That is a valid statement. I think that saying came out like probably like 10 years ago. Where are they doing that at? What does that really mean? Does that mean a neighborhood, a block, an area? No, it could mean something a lot deeper than that. In this particular story on the episode of Misery Machine, I think the little girl was like 2 years old. The mama's boyfriend, apparently, because she claims that she was asleep when it happened. I don't believe her personally, because they said that the assault lasted for 6 hours while she was supposedly asleep. I don't believe it. Like, there's no way that you slept through 6 hours. Like, most mothers are gonna have some kind of instinct that something is wrong or that their child is in danger, which is typically about the time when women get up and walk away or kick abusive men out. Okay. I think that when a man starts showing a lot of hatred, uh, and he seems to be deteriorating, that's when you have to be like, okay, yeah, yeah, you got some problems. But she was claiming they put her in jail anyway, along with him. But she was claiming she was asleep for 6 hours. So most women with a sound morals, having sound morals pretty much makes up a person and their entire person. That's just like a lot of women are not gonna just stay with an abusive man just because he has money. It could be a woman that is uneducated. It could be a woman that is she may not even be, that intelligent, but she's going to make a way, you know what I'm saying? Especially if she has children. Children are going to be the deciding factor. I mean, I understand that there are some people, they do live in their own world, and that's how tragedies like that unfortunately strike. But it's just when even I'm gonna tell y'all something. And there's been a lot of advocates out there that have been trying to get the courts to recognize verbal abuse more as a problem. And in fact, in the state of New York, get caught on candy camera verbally abusing your household. You can go to prison for that. And different states have different laws. And I don't know if verbal abuse is against the law in Georgia. Maybe not. That's why maybe a lot of certain people choose. Verbal abuse is just as bad. Like, I'm not going to say it's worse, but I'm just going to say it's equal to beating someone. The only difference is that one is like a soft kill, and the other one can cause a lot of physical pain. But both are equally as bad, especially if the verbal abuse is on a regular basis, whether or not it is every damn day or every week or even once a month, where all of this just abusive nature comes out of a man. All abusive men are, to me, they're homeless, because for the most part, unless they find a woman that is willing to allow him into her reality, into her life. Otherwise, most abusive men have nowhere to damn go. They don't. And I'm talking about, I ain't talking about y'all in the roast arena. I'm talking about in real life. So ain't nobody talking about the roast arena. Okay, let me just do that disclaimer, because one of them in the roast arena named his channel Verbal Abuser. And then come to find out, he caused the death of his twins. His wife was pregnant with twins, and he actually pushed her down the steps and caused her to lose her babies. But I'm still not talking about that. I'm talking about in situations where you have someone that has consistent and constant access to a person, and and they're able to communicate with that person, and they're abusive. You know what I'm saying? What's been disturbing recently is, women getting tired of the abuse, fighting back, and people trying to judge the both of them. That's what I don't like. I don't like it when people do that. If I were dealing with an abusive man, I would cuss his ass up and down every day until he left me the hell alone. That's what I would do. And then especially if he's verbally abusive, think of it like this. And yeah, women want, like, I'm somebody that went through an abusive situation. I wanted nothing more. Before I got that person out of my life, I wanted nothing more than for them to just go away and leave me alone forever. No woman actually wants that. You know what I'm saying? Especially a woman like me. I don't like that. Name calling and put downs and belittling, don't a woman really want that? Unless it's a woman that don't have much good sense. And good sense is what? Morals. Morals. You know what I mean? And words have power. They can, if unless you know how to not do that. But why stay in a situation where you're constantly rinsing and repeating? Why do that? That's how I feel about the situation. If a man is abusive, he's abusive, he's abusive. An abusive man is an abusive man is an abusive man. And it's nothing that can be done to cover that up. If he is an abusive love partner, or even an abusive father or stepfather, that's just who he is. And it's a lot of people that are very, very desperate out there, just for any kind of interaction, that they are willing to be cool with people like that. I personally do not keep people like that around me. And I was looking at this one story. This lady left her 16-year-old daughter home with this man, her stepfather, and he raped her and murdered her. And his niece came on there and said, "I love my uncle to death, but I can't believe he did that to her." I'm sorry, if you're in my family and you murder an innocent person, me and you are done for good. I would never call you family. I don't love you. I'm going to lose all love and respect for you. I don't give a shit about what excuses everybody else makes for you. And I wouldn't give a shit about being shunned because of that. I'd rather just stay the hell away for good. A lot of people, when they're related to somebody, they're pressured to have this unconditional love for this person. But in reality, I don't like janky, skanky, unstable people around me. I don't like that. You know what I'm saying? It brings in nothing but bad juju, bad luck. And then a lot of these men are running around here totally under possession, don't even know who they are or what they are. They don't know why they are the way that they are. They're clutching onto a Bible that actually, where the God of the Bible is actually ordering all of this violence to happen to women and children. And so for me, in my reality, in my world, now y'all gonna hear me talking about that a lot. Y'all gonna hear me talking about that, about my reality a lot. Because in my world, we don't covet men like that are abusive to anybody. Nobody deserves to be abused. You can sit here and say, oh, well, you're ugly, you're a witch, you're a hag, you're old, you're fat, you're skinny. Nobody deserves to be abused that way. Okay. So, or either you black, you got nappy hair, it'll never be justified. And if you don't understand and have enough good sense to seek justice in your way, however it is that you're going to get that justice, then it's nobody else's fault. That's the world that you live in. That's the reality that you live in, to where you allow this maniac to run amok. And it ain't just about cheating, but cheating's a deal breaker too, because if a man goes out and sleeps with the wrong woman, he can bring you home AIDS or cancer. Cancer comes in the form of an STD these days. So, it's not cute. It's abusive. Even I've had a man, and I've never had a man do this to me before. But it's a first time for everything. But I had a dude just recently. It wasn't when it was the yeah, y'all know what I'm saying. And he would try to use um threats of cheating as a control factor, or either a fear factor. Oh, I'm going to sleep with this person, and I know that this person is not clean. You know what I'm saying? And oh, let me sleep with this person, or let me make you think something's going wrong, or let me make you think that I might have met up with this person. You know what I'm saying? A man is not, or a woman, to be honest with you, is supposed to create a level of security and serenity and stability and trust in a relationship, for a man to constantly be, alluding to, oh, I may sleep with this woman or that woman, and you messing up. And so get up out of here. Don't a woman want no man like that. And if it is a woman that wants you, then go and be with that woman. Leave other women alone. If there are women out there that want somebody that's going to be a perfect lover, nobody's perfect all the way, but you can't say, oh, he abuses me, well, nobody's perfect. No, that's not, no. There are a lot of people, a lot of women who have men that they can sit and have coffee and tea with, and it's never any kind of fuck shit. It ain't no abuse or nothing. Now, come on now, ain't nobody gotta. I mean, we, you know what I'm saying? We ain't gotta sit up here and drama and little silly, no, uh, you know. But it's so, oh my God. In fact, um, if a woman stays in an abusive relationship with a man, the way that the child protection services see it is dangerous. And it is very dangerous, because you don't know, this man could snap one day. Now that's not that, I don't agree with, because I had a client that lived in the state of Florida. She wasn't a client, but she came to me to get a reading. And she was telling me that, her children were taken from her because her boyfriend was abusing her in the home while the children were there. And, It's really sad. You know what I'm saying? Like, men like that are undesirable. It's not the woman. Men like that think they slick and they think they clever, right? They think that they're clever because what they will do is they will try to create an environment where the woman is being judged for his behavior, and oh, it's her fault and she did this, she did that, when a lot of women know and are very well aware of the fact that these men flip out of nowhere. They literally flip and flop. And it's very undesirable. It is. It's very undesirable. He can say, "Oh, well, you didn't wash the dishes at night. You waited till the next morning to do the dishes, and you don't keep a clean house. You're right. So let me put your ass out. Then that way my house will be clean." Because if you notice, being with an abusive man, when a man is abusing you, you notice your house is dirtier. He's pulling on you. He's draining you. He's kicking you down, and it's just so ick. It's not attractive, and it certainly is not. Like when you find out, like, okay, when you look at stories about rich people and you kind of find out that some stuff is going down, it's like, oh yeah, that money don't mean nothing. It doesn't. Money doesn't mean anything. You never know what's happening in the walls, if these walls could talk. And so, and you can see it in their eyes. A lot of these men come from a long bloodline of abusers, cheaters, and beaters. Okay. And you can't allow them access, into your life. Gotta get them out, get them up out of there. Okay. They cause all kind of problems. Just, oh God, bye. And then, and then that brings me back to the satanic protection from death. Since when are you supposed to love? You can love your children more than you love yourself. That's what it's supposed to be, even though the Bible teaches you opposite of that. But as a mother, I can tell you that the mother, what she is about is definitely, putting her children first. The mother is, okay, and even some fathers, okay, put their children first. But you should never love another person, an abusive person, more than you love yourself. You know what I'm saying? Like if that person is abusive, you're fooling yourself. You're fooling yourself. That's not even a real person. That's some kind of agent of destruction or something. That's like a damn shit. He must have incarnated from a T-Rex or something. What the hell? That's why you gotta, because you never know. Hell, he might have been a dinosaur in his last, in one of his lifetimes, and he living out, or the predator or something. What the hell is wrong with with these people? So hell, I'm just sitting there doing my hair, and I was sitting here. It's quiet. My house is always quiet because my sons are very quiet. If my daughters was here, it'd be a little bit more noise, but they quiet too. And so I was just sitting here enjoying the quiet, doing my hair, and that's the way it should be. And sometimes abuse can be quiet. Some abuse don't always have to be loud, even if he whispering to you, you know what I'm saying? But I don't allow that into my world, especially all that BDSM stuff and all that, I experimented with it, and not to the extreme. Even if you are participating in some kind of BDSM-ish behavior, there's still hard limits to that. Okay, there's hard limits, and if you don't have any hard limits, then you don't need to be doing that. Y'all realize that there have been many, many men, and that's why a lot of the people were they hate 50 Shades of Grey. It's a lot of people that hate that because it is a fact that a lot of these men will go into these frenzies and they can't control themselves, and a lot of them have beaten women to death and choked them to death and stuff, and it's weird. Okay, don't nobody want that. You got your family pictures on the wall. Don't nobody want to have it a reality in their damn life where there's blood splatter all over the damn house. Okay, no. So god dang it, what am I doing? And I realize this day and age, well, and you know what? It's very popular. What I've noticed is that it's very popular in social media for people to have a lot of these men are emulating the Joker. That was a damn character that was created in a damn movie. You know what I'm saying? And they real killer clownish and weird, and it's like, oh God, you are literally a joke to me. Now there may be some women out there that like men like that. They want to play the role of Harley Quinn in life. But there's a lot of women that are not into that. You know what I'm saying? Just this character, you know. And then, some of us, if we are not able at that moment to obtain a male partner that is going to bring that stability into our lives, then a lot of us would rather be alone, and that's the way it has to be. You know what I'm saying? And not in my reality does a woman that is alone have to worry about, oh God, am I going to survive without this man? That we don't live like that in my utopia. That's not allowed. Okay? And we've got guards and gargoyles at the gate. We got the gargoyles posted, and you're not going to get in, you know? And I'm going to tell you something. A lot of these men that have a lot of chaos inside of them, many of them, the only reason why they want a quiet woman is because they want to come into a quiet, peaceful place, and they want to cause disturbances because they're still very childish. Or it ain't even about being childish. Let's not say that. It's about just being a damn degenerate. It's about just being that type of person. You know, they don't all have the same story. And it's a huge problem, um in particular with males, but I've seen women like this too. I'm not even gonna lie to you. I just saw one yesterday, terrorizing and tormenting a man that she's interested in, harassing. So this is several of them, harassing and stalking a man in social media, constantly coming at this man because he does not want to hook up with them. So women can be that way too. Okay. So, um, goodness gracious, when you think about all of the problems that it creates, you know, mm, mm, mm. And then these restraining orders ain't really doing these women no damn good. So you gotta let spirit protect you from that. And I'm sorry, but a lot of these male and I don't know what the damn I don't know where the separation from reality and good sense comes from when it comes to women that are dealing with an abusive partner, and when they look at their religion, and the religion itself kind of gives the man leeway of abuse. So what makes you think those gods are going to protect you? That's the reason why. And so I guess a lot of women said, well, I'm not able to, I don't want to say go out into the world, but I'm not able to, create my own reality of stability and security. And I feel like I got to have this man around, um, and you don't have to choose anybody. You don't have to settle for nobody. A lot of women and men are settling. You know what I'm saying? But abusive men are abusive men, and they always blame the woman. They rarely are you gonna get an abusive man that actually has the damn capability of admitting that he has done something wrong. Okay. And if he does apologize, and this is why a lot of women don't fall for it, even when they apologize, you see that they don't actually really mean it. Okay. And some of these personalities and entities inside of these men, they literally will do things and they won't have any understanding of what they have done to another human being is wrong, and they just will ignore it. It's all her fault. I haven't done anything. What did I do? And it's kind of like, well, I was kind of sitting here very peaceful one day, and then you just started attacking me. And that's literally the way that it happens a lot of the times. By the time a woman starts screaming and yelling at a man, you don't have to be scared of a man. Don't live in fear. Fuck that. I've dealt with abusive men. I would never let a man make me live in fear. I am going to fight back. I am going to. Okay? That's just all it is to it. So hold on, I'll drop the link, Trinity. Give me a second. There you go. I know that for me, I don't want to deal with covert abuse or overt abuse. I don't want to deal with either one, to where it's constant tension and edginess, and I'm just not going to do it. I don't want to deal with it. I don't want to deal with having to argue and fight with a bunch of other women. You can take that somewhere else, and if that means that I guess if that, because what they'll say is they'll say, well, you're gonna die alone if you don't deal with this crap. And it's like, well, first of all, we come into this world alone unless we're born with a twin. So that's not that bad. You know what I'm saying? And then also, I was looking at this documentary about y'all know that lady that was on Shirley something. She was on that one movie, and they said that she had died alone and had decomposed, and they didn't find her body for for a while. And somebody had commented, they said, well, she wasn't alone, she had Jesus and the angels. And I agree with that. Not necessarily with Jesus or whatever, probably did have Jesus, but people are not necessarily alone. And I don't understand why men think that they have to use these abuse practices. They don't have to. It's just the way that they are. And they will give you several red flags from the beginning. That's the way that they are. And they're not going to be any different from it with any other woman. They're the same way with every woman. They're the same way with every woman. They're not going to, oh, I'm going to, I'm an abuser, but I'm going to treat you right, baby. No, that's not the way that it works. Okay. They say that domestic violence, it costs this country more money and taxes and time off of work and hospital visits and just craziness. You know what I'm saying? And And that's when literally you're trying to maintain a relationship that has now become a burden, on society, as far as where society has to kind of commingle together when it comes to taxes and things of that nature. I know I would hate it if I were neighbor to somebody, that to an abusive man, and you can hear him yelling and screaming all throughout the, don't nobody want to deal with no loud ass man that got everybody in a hoopla, got everybody crying and hiding out in the closet, running to the basement trying to take cover like he a damn tornado. What the hell is wrong with you? And you choose, as a man, you choose what energies you allow yourself to um be a part of. So that's why I work with Lilith. Lilith gives us freedom from the chaos. That's why I love her so much. you know and that's why a lot of them was banking on some of these vloggers, women shaming, misogynistic vloggers, because the frequencies that they were on was there to make women feel as though there was nothing else better for them out there, that they have no other choices. But in reality, you do, because every man is not in social media. That's not every man is in social media. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's some men that don't come to social media at all. And if they do come to social media, it's not to be a part of that. It's to do other things. You know what I'm saying? So I don't know. I feel like I feel like I want peace and harmony and a healthy environment. And I'm sorry if you're dealing, well, I'm not sorry, but if you're dealing with a male that is creating a very toxic environment, he's creating it, and yeah, I guess a woman could be toxic if she got to fight back. But then why not alleviate yourself from that? Why not relieve yourself, especially when you having problems and it just never gets any better? You know what I'm saying? And then if that's the case, then leave the rest of the world alone. Handle this man on your own. Handle him, you know, because don't nobody else want to deal with him. You know what I'm saying? So anyway, I'm sitting here doing my hair, y'all, and I don't have time to do the whole damn thing. So I'm just gonna do the front and the sides, and I'm gonna leave the back for later. I'll finish it later on tomorrow. So, that's just what that is. You don't make a woman strong. It's a strong woman. Mm-mm. It's quiet nights in front of the fireplace, not destructive, chaotic, or even that quiet chaos. You know what quiet chaos is? Quiet chaos is like dull anxiety. Mm-mm. No, no, no. There is a such thing as a quiet chaos. Even if it's quiet, somewhere in the dynamic, what's happening is this brewing fire, and it's up to everybody. First of all, you got to figure out where in the world is all of that coming from? Where is it all coming from anyway? What, why does it just come out of the blue all of a damn sudden? And I feel like by especially my age, if I'm gonna deal with a man, he's more than likely gonna be my age. I love men that are my age, but you got to have dealt with your problems and learn how to transmute those issues. By the time you reach the age of 40, you should have done that by now. If there is any type of childhood trauma that you may have to heal from, or, maybe even past life trauma, should make the best of life every day. Make every day your best. That's not narcissistic for me to say that. And if you got any kind of emotions that you're dealing with, stop projecting to other people and actually do the work. Do the work. Damn it. Do the work, hun. That's what I see a lot of people doing, projecting to other people. You're not doing the work. That's not doing work. Your negative energy that you have inside of you and those negative emotions, you just have to transmute it. Nobody else has to necessarily take that from you. That's the whole point of doing return to senders, because those are your spirits and you have to deal with them. And there are people in this world that are very well balanced, and they don't have that issue to where they have to project to other people. There's a lot of people in this world that and if you notice, there's a lot of people that's all they do, misplace their anger and project it to other people. And they've gotten very good at it. It's a byproduct of denial, is what that is. Okay. And so for me, I'd rather just be alone. Ain't nobody yelling and screaming and arguing in my household ever. For what? For what? And a few years ago, because my Jacob is like the perfect child. Like, I'm not even gonna lie to you. He's a little smart ass sometimes, but he's like a perfect child. He is. And so when he was a little bit younger, like around the age of 7 or 8, spirits would kind of come into the house. Bad spirits will come in the house and they will cause chaos. But you can even tell sometimes, like when you be looking at them cop shows and stuff, when the cops show up to somebody's house and it be a bunch of bad spirits and everybody arguing and ain't nobody calm and everybody yelling and screaming, and it just so I think that again is an example of where people are saying, I'm gonna let God be in control. But God, like, yeah, when you hear people say there's nothing wrong with putting stuff in the hands of your gods or whatever, but when literally you are not you don't have any level of control over your own environment, there's a problem. There's a problem. When it's just chaos and confusion, and you know what I'm saying? And that stuff ain't supposed to be in your house, you know? And then it is a fact that when there is that kind of drama all the time, law enforcement knows that there's either something illegal going on or something just ain't right. Or either, it could be something going on. Um I don't think it's kosher for the police to be dealing with mental illness, but they do. It's a part of their job. You know what I'm saying? So I mean, it's inevitable. But I do think that if someone is factually um mentally ill, I think that the local safety, what do they call that? The Public Safety Administration should have some kind of something, set up for these people to get some kind of help. If you're not able to navigate yourself, just sitting there, and next thing you know, you yelling and screaming at somebody, and or either doing it covertly. A covert abuser is not going to scream and holler at the top of their damn lungs at his family. What he's going to do is make accusations. He's going to play emotional and mental games with people in his household, which is devastating to the mind. And you should want to raise your children around that. You should not want to raise your children around that, to where somebody is constantly, oh, here's another form of abuse, being mentally draining all the time about saying things, you know, saying things that you shouldn't even be saying, accusations that you know are not the truth, always trying to make your words sound accusatory. For example, if somebody ends a squabble with somebody, you're trying to say words that relate to some kind of romantic connotation. You know what I'm saying? Like if you knew somebody squashed their beef with somebody, and they're no longer beefing with that person, and instead of you saying, well, okay, what you're doing is you're trying to make it seem like they got some kind of sex or love relationship, making accusations. That's called mental. I don't it's a mental thing, and many of them use it. Opportunists will use any opportunity. Oh, I see that you were having a conversation with that man over there. What were you trying to do? Have sex with him? Some people will use a relationship as a way to abuse people. Now, you could be saying hi or getting a damn mail from somebody, but no, an abusive man is it's always an accusation, and it's nothing cute about that. You know, and women that are capable of being faithful to a man, they can't. It's irritating. Maybe to a woman that likes that kind of abuse, she might think it's cute. But to a woman that is capable, somebody that ain't some wild animal running around here, you know, to that kind of woman like myself, I'm gonna that's gonna get on my nerve. That's gonna get old after a while. Oh, what you doing talking to him? What y'all talking about? Oh, uh, he was the waiter in the restaurant. I asked him to bring me some water. What was you looking at him like that for? Uh, I just asked him to bring some water with a lemon wedge in it. What that lemon wedge mean? What you want him to wedge himself in between your legs? Like it just. I'm sorry. Listen, I'd rather be sitting there at the table eating alone. Okay, I'd rather be alone. It's just constant, and they're usually like that all the time. All the time. It's not just every once in a while. It's every day, all day long. Oh, who was that called you? Oh, why? Oh, I heard something. What was that? Oh, are you doing something? Oh, let me put a hidden camera in your house. What? Hold on, wait a minute. Time for me to get the hell on up out of here. It's time for this to end. This is the end. No, and it's not that the woman is doing anything, it's just that it's mentally draining. It's mentally draining. Now, if your woman sees you talking to a woman, right? Let's say you talking to a woman that doesn't like your girlfriend. right? And and the woman is already openly flirted with you, and you having a you know, some kind of emotional affair with her, then that's different on both sides, whether or not you're a male or a woman, right? And these women, you know, or a woman is flirting with him and disrespecting you and saying, "Oh, I can do him better than you," and you cool with that? You, it's that kind of game that men are expecting us to accept. Nobody wants that in their life. First of all, ain't nobody said you couldn't have friends or acquaintances, but you sitting up there out in the open flirting with your friends and got your friends talking crazy to, you know, to the woman that's in your life, you know, while you go further and say, well, you know, you're not my woman anyway. Like, whoa, wait a minute. Whenever you get mad, and then you want to say, I don't know why she left me, I was a good man. What? Mm-mm. That is an example of abuse. I'm going to be friends with somebody that, I'm sleeping with you, but I'm going to be friends with somebody that talks crazy to you. What is that? I've Where in the hell are they doing that at? Where are they doing that at? Not over here. So anyway, y'all, I'm getting through this hair real fast too. And I just got to put these braids in because I'm doing the individual braided crochets, and those can take a while because you have to braid the braid first individually. So I'm gonna go, y'all. And then and why get insulted? You know how you are. Just admit it. Just say, you know what? I'm a difficult person to deal with, and I can see why a person would walk away. Let me go find somebody that, you know, is prepared to stand in like a damn mental health nurse all the damn time, 24/7, or somebody that's ready to take some abuse all the time, or an emotional game all the time. Some people like that. Some people don't. They got too much other things to think about. If you got to work and take care of a household and do all that stuff, you can't sit up there and have your, you know, your time taken up by some stupid emotional game. Okay, now I guess if you sitting around all day and you ain't got nothing to do, and you got time for 12 hours and explain for 12 hours straight how when you spoke to the waiter at the restaurant that you were actually only asking him for um water with a lemon wedge. Okay. So an insecure type of partner, that is actually abuse. And I was telling this one girl, I said, well, you know, because women come to me and they say, should I date him? And I'll throw my cards and I'll feel certain stuff. Not being able to be there emotionally from your partner is abuse to me too. If it's something that comes up where a man is supposed to be, you know, emotionally there, instead what he's doing is, if anything happens, anything that happens in life, he's gonna use that as a ploy to emotionally abuse you. Well, guess what? That's happened, and such happened. Okay. So they'll turn it around and turn it into a form of emotional abuse too. But then again, let's say for example, you know, a parent passes away, or either somebody in your family passes away, or, you know, anything happens, you know, he's just like, well, you know, and this is a time where he's supposed to be there for you emotionally. And instead of being there for you emotionally, he's either unresponsive, or he's saying, well, you know, last week you was disrespecting me, so that's why that happened. It's like, what? The So, or not even to go to that extreme. If a man is never emotionally available, that's not gonna cut it for a romantic or a sexual connection, because that means that there's no intimacy. So that can't work. That ain't gonna work. Somebody that kind of sits there like a bump on the log, real quiet, and you sitting up there crying because something is hurting you, and they're literally unresponsive. That's not going to work either. You shouldn't be sleeping with somebody that's not there for you emotionally. Okay, we might as well not even have sex at all. I don't want to copulate with any man. I wouldn't care if it was my husband. I'd be filing for divorce. Okay, what do they call that? Irreconcilable differences. And then, even then, he should be mature and say, "Hey, you know, I I realize that I'm gonna let this go. I'm gonna, admit that I was wrong for what I did, and maybe I do need to deal with some emotional issues that I have that led me to not be the romantic partner." Because let's face it, man, when you're in a relationship with somebody, it may take you being there for them. Sometimes, you just need your partner to listen to you. But if you constantly got to be his therapist or his counselor, mm-mm. I'm not looking for a patient. Okay, the women are not looking for a patient that constantly needs therapy every day. That's what they have therapists for. You know what I mean? Especially when it's when you feel constantly hurt or neglected in the relationship. That's all you feel is hurt and neglect, because all the time he's trying to work out his emotional stuff that he refuses to really actually work out. But in the meantime, you're being emotionally abandoned. And it ain't nothing personal. It's just that, hey, for you to qualify to be a sexual partner to somebody, or either a husband, you have to know how to be there for a person. You know what I mean? You can't argue about that. Okay, y'all, that's pretty much it. I am getting through with this hair. Like I said, I'm only gonna do the front and the sides, and some of the crown area. I'm gonna do that area just until it's like thick enough to look like the whole back is done, and I'll fix the back tomorrow. All right, y'all. Y'all have a good one. Hit that thumbs up, subscribe, and I will see y'all later. Okay. Visit divineservicesapothecary.com. Blessings. Bye bye.